Are you trying to recreate human skin color when decorating a cake? Note that it is essential that you know how to make skin-colored icing. In addition to that, for cupcakes or cookies, color accuracy is critical. Moreover, keep in mind that pre-mixed flesh-colored food coloring is available for purchase. Besides, it will produce the most accurate results. But if unavailable, the downside is that you may need to create a comparable tone. In this regard, with the colors already in your cupboard. How to make skin-colored icing. Before anything else, start mixing equal green and red food coloring parts in a small white bowl. Doing this creates brown-colored food coloring. Afterward, test the color by sticking a toothpick into the color mixture. Then, mix it into a spoonful of white icing. Besides, you can add a drop or 2 drops of yellow food coloring if required. To create the flesh color, you can add a drop of red coloring into the white icing. Then, ensure to mix till you achieve a light pink shade. Test the shadow using the same technique, and mix the pink icing with a small brown. After that, explore by using a small amount of each color. So with that, you can increase if necessary to create and replicate the desired shade of flesh. Also, ensure to mix enough food coloring at a time to decorate or frost. Bear in mind that it may be hard to match or recreate the exact tone you have made earlier. Because of that, make sure that you have enough. First, you need to create a brown coloring by combining 3 primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. Remember that mixing 2 colors opposite from one another in the color wheel will make a brown color. Afterward, mix the colors in a small white dish and stir using a toothpick. With that, you can begin with a ratio of 3 yellow parts, 2 red parts, and 1 part blue. Things to consider on how to make skin color icing. Essentially, there are several combinations of coloring to make skin color icing, or flesh-colored icing. When trying to recreate a Caucasian skin tone, you have to start with pure white icing as a base. Then, make sure to add 4 drops of red coloring and 3 drops of yellow to achieve a pink flesh tone. For a peach tone, you will need 6 drops of red and 8 drops of yellow. Or you can add a minimal amount of brown coloring to a pink style of icing. Doing this achieves the same effect. Moreover, it is ideal for chocolate icing. Likewise, adding white icing lightens darker skin tones, such as African, Middle Eastern, Hispanic, or Native American. Also, putting a large amount of food coloring into white icing can create an unpleasant aftertaste. For that reason, it may be hard to make an exact color match. That is why mixing enough colored icing to complete your decoration is better. Furthermore, make color adjustments to your food coloring mixture. To achieve the desired color shade, increase the colors required in your mix to achieve the right balance. Then, identify and take note of the primary colors that it needs. How to make skin color with food coloring for cookies. Making cookies and in need of skin tone icing? You can start by making a large batch of royal icing. Afterward, mix the colors with half a cup of royal icing. Also, to make a light toned royal icing mix, you will need 2 parts of warm brown. In addition to that, you need to add 1 piece of ivory. Moreover, to make a medium toned royal icing mix, you will need 2 to 3 parts of warm brown. After that, add 1 part chocolate brown and 1 piece of ivory. Furthermore, to make a dark toned royal icing mix, you will need 3 parts chocolate brown. After that, add 2 parts warm brown and a touch of black. Keep in mind that the black color will darken the longer it sits. In that regard, use less of this color. Tips and tricks. You may find out that adding 1 or 2 colors at a time achieves the appropriate balance. If you think that the mixture is too red, you may need more blue and yellow. Or it requires more yellow if you want your tan to be more orange than pure brown. That is why always experiment with 1 color in small amounts at a time. Also, with a new container of water, test each new color concoction. Because of this, you can now then add your food coloring to an uncolored white frosting. After that, combine or mix it with your white frosting thoroughly. Next, add your brown food coloring. Remember, add a drop at a time and mix it properly. As a result, you can now decide if you want your tan shade to be darker or lighter. In addition to that, you may add a little more if you want it to be darker. Always add a smaller amount or lesser at a time. Because of this, there are fewer chances that you will be making a frosting or icing too dark. In that regard, as a shade of brown, icing and food coloring are the perfect pair. However, the coloring method for uncommon icing colors like tan is a little more complicated. Bear in mind that tan food coloring is accessible. However, it is often harder to come by than the conventional primary and standard color packages. Fortunately, you can make your tan shade food coloring and use it to color your icing to your liking. And then, you may be able to use it for your dessert creations. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.